gating against me for, well, he won't let me into my home.
As of November 22nd, Bob facing evictions, Bob has gone ahead and released the unit back to CAH Investments. He came in and signed paperwork and relinquished everything, the apartment to us. We changed the locks because that's our property.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I don't have you on a lease. I don't have any documentation showing between you and I never had an application ran. Normal process if you move into one of our properties is that you come in, you fill out an application, we run your background, do a standard credit check just like any other community would do for you, and then we would add you to the lease, making you, as responsible as the leaseholder, just as if any other apartment would do. So I was never aware that you were a tenant there. So knowing this, and my agreement is was with Bob, and it's his responsibility, or it was his up until the 22nd. The property is in the agreement that he was leasing that unit from us, but there was, we weren't aware that there was any other parties living in that unit.
That's interesting. And who did you hear that from?
I'm sorry, what do you mean, who did I hear that from?
You heard it from Bob? On November 22nd, you said?
November 22nd, November 22nd, he relinquished his rights to that unit. Yes, he signed the lease back. He broke his lease, but he was still, to avoid eviction, he was still, he relinquished the property back to us. I mean, anything else than that, that's between Bob and myself and the owner.
That's very interesting. Have you spoken with, I've been told the gentleman who lives in apartment 105 is named Brett?
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting because I can't find anything in, in records that says that his name is actually Brett. But he was aware, and he claims that he works for you.
He does. He is one of our maintenance men. He's been with us for quite some time. And when he is on site there, he is, acting manager.
Okay.
So he is our representative 100%. So.
Well, he's been aware that I've been living there since the end of February.
Okay. Well, like I said, unless you, do a lease with us or, do an application and we put you onto the lease, there was never any mention to the owner or, to myself that there was any other resident living there other than Bob.
So even though the on-site manager was aware of this?
He's not the on-site manager. He's one of our maintenance men, and when he's there, he is a representative of the company. So that means that if there is any issues or if there's vandalism or if there's trespassers, he has the right to act for the owner, as to protect the property.
Interesting. So you say Bob came in on November 20th?
No, I did not say that. It wasn't the 20th.
Was it after that?
Mm-hmm.
What day was it?
Bob came in on the 22nd and relinquished the unit back to us.
22nd. Fascinating. Well, I am kind of flabbergasted, honestly, Trina, because I'm looking here. This is a temporary protection order issued by the court here in Denver. I'm supposed to go back for the next hearing on December 4th at 10:30 a.m. Goodness, I have receipts here. I gave Bob $600 for November rent, and immediately after I gave it to him, he apparently he's met some gal that he took a shine to and wanted to move her in there. And a friend of mine went over and kind of decided to, mediate, just have a talk with him, and said, look, Bob, you've taken her money, you haven't, given her anything in exchange for it. That's actually theft. So I'm kind of perplexed. I mean, I've paid for November's rent, and all of my possessions are in there, my red leather couch, my coffee table. If Bob actually went to that unit, that's an illegal lockout and a violation of this restraining order. Anyone, whether it's a tenant or a subtenant, I believe, has to be evicted through the court process.
There was not an eviction. He released his right to that unit to avoid eviction because he was behind on rent.
So he no longer lives there? What about the property?
He no longer lives there. He no longer lives there. He relinquished all properties and anything. I mean, he no longer lives there.
What about my furniture, though? I'm kind of concerned.
Okay. Do you have receipts for the furniture? I'd be glad to go ahead and have that. And if there's anything that is of your personal belongings, I would be glad to go ahead and set up a time that we can get together. As long as you have receipts showing payment in full for that property, I'd be glad to return it to you. No questions asked.
I would be more than happy to meet with you, with my boss, who is an attorney, with friends of mine, with full photo, video, every kind of documentation you would possibly require.
The only thing I'm asking for is receipts of property, and I'd be glad to go ahead and return it. No questions asked. As long as I have receipts for the property, then, obviously that's valid that it was not Bob's, then I would be glad to go ahead and return it to you.
Okay, fantastic. And are you over at the Aurora new property these days?
I am at the Willowick property.
The Willowick, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. The other thing, this is really, really important. One more minute of your time, please. Who is this Jack Miller who lives in apartment 104?
I don't know. He's another resident. That's all. I know that he is a resident. He has a lease with me. He pays his rent on time every month. So
okay.
I don't know him personally. The gentleman moved in there well before I did. I've met him a couple times briefly, but.
Okay, and who was it that changed the locks on Unit 101?
It was one of the property managers.
Was it this Brett guy?
No, it was not that Brett guy, but it was one of the other property managers, and that was instructed by the owner. After the agreement was made with the, between Bob, myself, and the owner, that he was relinquishing all of this, relinquishing the unit back to us.
Okay, and that occurred on, I think you said the 22nd.
Correct.
Okay, and that would be, was it Marty or Larry?
I'm sorry?
Marty or Larry, the owner?
Well, they didn't change the locks. I didn't tell you that they changed the locks. Okay? But what I told you is Larry had instructed that the locks be changed.
Okay, Larry instructed. Okay.
Correct.
Fantastic.
So did you want to set up a time when I can meet with you? Because that would be great.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I definitely need to get my furniture, my art, and things out of there. And you say that Bob no longer has a key to get in there?
That is correct.
And okay, fantastic. I would love to set up a time with you. That would be great.
Okay. 10 o'clock tomorrow, or can we make it 11 o'clock tomorrow morning?
Would it be possible to do something outside of standard, I guess you could say, banker's hours? Because whoever I can get to help me is going to have to either take the day off or else do it when they're off of work.
What I can do is I can meet you tomorrow, and in regards to what you and I had talked about, it will be myself and another community manager. And like I said, I need to have proof of receipts of items in the unit, and then at that time you and I can set up another time when you can have somebody come and remove the items with you and with either myself or another community manager as well.
Okay, let me see here. Let me think. I know I've got, goodness, it's really, really hard because I'm in work, I've got work and stuff to do. I know that later in the afternoon is always good for me. During the middle of the day is really, really middle of the day, like anytime after noon, not tomorrow, tomorrow's Tuesday, but Wednesday, I can do like afternoonish or something.
Wednesday, 3 o'clock?
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
3, let's see, Wednesday, 3 o'clock at Willowick. Okay, then I'll meet you at 3 o'clock at Willowick.
At Willowick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and then on Wednesday.
Okay, fantastic. Trina, I appreciate your time, and I'll talk to you very soon. See you 3 p.m. on Wednesday.
Perfect. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.